You're not a Honeywell, he says. No, she says. You are. Yes, he says. Sort of. She stops then, so that he has to stop too. It isn't like they could keep on going anyway. There's a gap in the wall just behind her. I remember when they built this wall, he says. She probably misheard him, or else he's teasing her. She says, you must be very old. Older than you, anyway, he says. He sits down on the wall, so she sits down too. Honeywell Hall is just in front of them. There's a copse of woods behind. Snow falls lazily, a bit of wind stirring it, swirling it, tossing it up again. Why do you always wear that coat? Miranda says. She fizzes a little. Her bum is getting cold. You shouldn't sit on a dirty wall. It's too nice. She touches the embroidered beetle, the fox. Someone very, special gave it to me, he says. I wear it always because it's her wish that I do so. The way he says it makes Miranda shiver just a little. Right, she says. Like my anklet. My mother sent it to me. She's in prison. She'll never get out. She'll be there till she dies. Like the fox, he says. Like your fox, Miranda says. She's horrified to find out that her eyes are wandering. Is she crying? It isn't even a real fox. She doesn't want to look at the man in the coat, Fenny, to see if he's noticed. So she jumps off the wall and begins to walk back toward the house. When she's halfway to the hall, the drifting snow stops. She looks back, and no one sits on the wall. The snow stops and starts on and off all day long. When dinner is finished, Honeywell is groaning, clutching their bellies. Elspeth has something for Miranda. Elspeth says, wagging the present between two fingers like it's a special treat. Miranda's some stray puppy. Someone left it on the doorstep for you, Miranda. I wonder who. The wrapping's a sheet of plain white stationery tied with a bit of green thread. Her name in a scratchy hand. Miranda. Inside is a scrap of rose damask, the embroidered fox snarling, the mangled leg, the bloody trap. Let me see, sweet, Elspeth says, and takes the rose damask from her. Oh, what a strange present. A joke? I don't know, Miranda says. Maybe. It's 8 o'clock. Honeywell Hall is up on the hill, must shine like a torch. Miranda puts on her coat and walks around the house 3 times. The snow is all melted. Daniel intercepts her on the final circuit. He's pimply, knobbly at present, and his nose is too big for his face. She loves him dearly, just like she loves Elsbeth. They're always kind of to her. Here, he says, handing her a bit of damask. Secret Santa? Secret admirer? Secret code? All you know, Miranda says. Long story. Save it for my memoirs. Meanwhile, back in there, everyone's pretending like it's 1970, and they're all sweet 16 again, playing sardines and drinking. There'd be orgies in all the cupboards, dramatic confessions and attempted murders in the pantry, under the stairs, in the beds, and under them all night long. So I took this and snuck out. Daniel shows her the bottle of Strongbow in his coat pocket. Let's go and sit in the Tiger. You can tell me all about school and the agony aunt, and I'll tell you which Tory MP Elspeth's been seeing on the sly. Then you could sell the story to the Sun, and use the proceeds to buy us Cobalt or flat in Wolverhampton. We'll live the life, Miranda says. They drink to cider and eat a half-melted Mars bar. They talk, and Miranda wonders if Daniel will try to kiss her. That she should try to kiss Daniel. But he doesn't. She doesn't. They don't. and she falls asleep on the mousy upholstery of the preposterous carcass of the Sunbeam Tiger, her head on the Daniel's shoulder, the trapped fox crumbling in her fist. Christmas after, Elspeth says, is in all the papers. The Tory MP's husband is divorcing her. Elspeth is a correspondent in the divorce. Meanwhile, she has a new thing with a footballer 20 years her junior. It's the best kind of Christmas story. Journalists everywhere. Elspeth in the Sunbeam Tiger picks up Miranda in the station in a wide-brimmed black hat, black jumpsuit, black sunglasses, triumphantly disgraced. In her element. Miranda's aunt almost didn't let her come this year. But then, if Miranda stayed, they would have both been miserable. The aunt has a new boyfriend. Almost as awful as she is. Someone should tell the tabloids. Lovely dress, Elspeth says, kissing her on the cheek. You made it. Miranda is particularly pleased with the hem. That's all right. I want one just like it, Elspeth says, in red. Lower the neckline. Raise the hem a bit. You go in business, you ever think of it? I'm only 16, Miranda says. There's plenty of room for improvement. Alexander McQueen left school when he was 16, Elspeth says. Went up to apprentice on Seville Road. Used to sew human hair on those linings. A kind of spell, I suppose. I have one of his mantra. Dresses somewhere in the hall. And your mother, she was barely older than you are now, hanging around backstage, stitching sequins and crystals on tulle. Where's Daniel? Miranda says. She and her mother have been corresponding. Miranda is saving up money. She hasn't told her aunt yet. But next summer, Miranda's going to Thailand. I'm back at the house, in the mood. Listening to my old records, the Smiths. Miranda looks over, studies Elspeth's face. That girl broke up with him, didn't she? If you mean the one with the ferrets and unfortunate ankles, Elspeth says. Yes, what's her name? It's a mystery. Not her name, but the breakup. He grows 3 inches in 2 months. His skin clears up, honestly, Miranda. He's even better looking than I expected he'd turn out. Heart of gold, that boy. He had a good brain, too. I can't think what she was thinking. Preemptive strike, perhaps, Miranda says. I wouldn't know about the breakup except for accidentally overhearing a conversation. Somewhat. Accidentally, Elspeth says. Well, that and the Smiths. He doesn't want to talk to me about his love life. Do you want to talk to you about his love life? No, Elspeth says. Yes, maybe, probably not. Anyway, how about you, Miranda? Do you have one of those yet? A love life? I don't even have ferrets, Miranda says. On Christmas Eve, all the visiting Honeywell and cousins and wives and boyfriends and girlfriends and accountants are out caroling in the village. Elspeth takes Miranda and Daniel aside. She gives them each a joint. It's not as if I don't know you've been raiding my supply, Daniel, Elspeth says. At least this way I know what you're up to, and if you're going to break the law, you might as well learn to break it responsibly, under adult supervision. Daniel rolls his eyes, looks at Miranda. Whatever he sees in her face makes him snort. It's annoying but true, he's really become quite spectacular looking. Well, it was inevitable. Apparently they'd drown all the ugly Honeywells at birth. It's okay, Mirandy, he says. I'll have yours if you don't want it. Miranda sticks the joint in her bra. Thanks, but I'll hang on to it. Anyway, I'm sure the two of you have a lot of catching up to do. Elspeth says, I'm off to the pub to kiss the barmaids and make the journos cry. When she's out the door, Daniel says, "She's matchmaking, isn't she?" Miranda says, "Or else it's reverse psychology." Their eyes meet. "Courage, Miranda." Daniel lifts his head, looks gleeful. "In which case, I should do this," he says. He leans forward, puts his hand on Miranda's chin, tilts it up. "We should do this." He kisses her. His lips are soft and dry. Miranda sucks on the bottom one experimentally. She ranges her arms around his neck, and his hands go down, copper bone. He opens his mouth and does things with his tongue until she opens her mouth too. She seems to know how this goes. He and the girl with the ferrets probably did this a lot. Miranda wonders if the ferrets were in the cage at the time or out. How unsettling is it, she wonders, to fool around with the ferrets watching you, their beady button eyes. She can feel Daniel's erection. Oh God, how embarrassing. She pushes him away. "Sorry," she groans. "Sorry, yeah, I don't think we should be doing this. Any of this." "No, probably not," Daniel says. "Probably definitely not. It's weird, right?" "It's weird," Miranda says. "But perhaps it wouldn't be so weird if we just smoked a joint first," Daniel says. "His hair is messy." Apparently she did that. Or, Miranda says, we could just smoke a joint. And not complicate things. Halfway through the joint, Daniel says, "It wouldn't have to complicate everything." His head is in her lap. She's curling pieces of his hair around her finger. "Yes, it would," Miranda says. "It really, really would." Later on, she says, "I wish it would snow. That would be nice. If it snowed, I thought that's why you lot came here at Christmas. The whole white Christmas thing." "Awful stuff," Daniel says. "Cold, slippy. Makes you feel like you're supposed to be singing or something in a movie. Or a snow globe." "Stuck," Miranda says. "Trapped." "Stuck," Daniel says. They're lying, tangled together on the sofa across from the Christmas tree. Occasionally Miranda has to move Daniel's hand from somewhere it shouldn't be. She doesn't think she's doing it intentionally. She kisses him behind the ear now and then. "That's nice," he says. Pats her bone. She wriggles out from under his hand, kisses him again. There's a movie on television. Lots of explosions, zombies, Cameron Diaz unloading groceries in a cottage. All by herself. No, that's another movie entirely, Miranda thinks. Apparently she's been asleep. Daniel is still sleeping. Why does he have to be so irritatingly good-looking, even in sleep? Miranda hates to think what she looks like asleep. No wonder the ferret girl dumped him. Elspeth must have come back from the pub, because there's a heap of blankets over both of them. Outside, it's snowing.